see what's what. Let me fire up some chat activities. Let me get over to my account. Let me search for myself, Bror Fredrik. It's always fun searching for myself. Oh, I found myself. Oh, wow. I came up first in the search results. That's unusual for me. Oh, and of course we got hit with the commercial straight out the gate. Blood sugar meter. Sick. Alright. I see pre-game Super Chat activities. Thank you very much, Maria Ann, for the 10. Everything goes towards parking and coffee. You know that. You know the deal. Yes, happy birthday to Janice. We're gonna sing a happy birthday in a bit. I definitely enjoyed my Leo Realm birthday gifts, and thank you to the people who did send cards and gifts. I think I got 4 in total, and thank you everyone for remembering me. No, I do not give out my exact birthday, so you're just gonna have to guess. Anytime within the realm of Leo works for me. So yes, I do appreciate everyone who was kind enough to send me a birthday card and a gift. So that is awesome. Yeah, and very, very Star Trek related. And when it gets cooler, I'm gonna wear the Captain Kirk shirt. For sure. Actually, I'm gonna wash it in hot water, and I'm gonna stick it in the dryer, and I'm gonna shrink it so it's like a second skin. It's gonna look awesome. Yeah. All right, the fabulous Haley with the coffee. Thank you. Absolutely fabulous. Yeah, I haven't done any happy birthdays in a while. We're gonna have to cut loose with a happy birthday. And then we'll get with chat, and I got a whole plethora of things that we're gonna talk about. Yeah, I know. For those of you who haven't noticed yet, yeah, your names are they're actually the base names. What they're called base names when you see they're your actual ID. When you sign up for your Gmail account and your YouTube account, you could put Bob Jones, but being that there's 1,000 Bob Jones, they put Bob Jones, 997. That's your actual ID. And lately, and I did use the sugar because I am almost no carbs today, almost no food today. No, I ate, but I'm gonna chow down later. So that's your actual ID. So for some reason, YouTube, in its uninfinite wisdom, has decided you're not even watching the events down here. There we go. They're using everyone's ID rather than the name or handle that you specifically chose. And the only thing that I could tie that to right now is they're releasing a new algorithm that is going to determine whether users are under the age of 18. I don't think that's a problem on our channel, but it is an issue. So they're gonna, a 16-year-old could sign up. When I sign up for these stupid things, you know what I put? I'm 99. I scroll back as far as I can go. I was born in 1904. No, I never use an even number. 1903, 1905, 1907. Why not? Why not? So of course you can lie on all these things, including Google logins. So they want to prevent that. So they're going to vet everyone. And how they're going to vet everyone, believe it or not, is it's going to be based on the content. If you see, if they find a user that's perpetually going to, a cartoon channel. But I know a lot of adults who watch cartoons. I mean, I could go watch an old Gigantor episode if I'm truly bored, but Speed Racer or something. But overall in context, however, being that your YouTube account is also tied to your Google email address, they can tell what you're doing on that specific device too. So they will be able to determine if you are of age, supposedly, and then they're gonna readjust everyone's numbers, because it has a lot to do with advertising. Like, you know, the demographic that I have is, I gotta ask for 2 of these next time. A little too dark for me. Look at that. It's like still like inkish. I need 2. This one's like small. I like those plastic ones. Those are sufficient. We'll ask for 2 next time. So 1, they're scanning your device, but you gave them permission to scan your device when you signed up for your email account. So, you know, I'll get butthurt about that. And it's also advertising. Like in our demographic, which is for the most part a lot of Xers, some boomers, some millennials, you know, but after that it tends to fall off rather significantly, you know, because I appeal to that age group for some reason. And advertisers pay more for the older demographics, you know, people with discretionary income. You know, the average, 18-year-old cannot buy a Lincoln Continental, and you'll see Lincoln Continentals. The average, 18-year-old is not going to go on Verbo and rent a vacation home in the Bahamas, where my audience might. So my advertising dollars will differ from a channel that's specifically geared towards the youngins. So they want to level the playing field. So that is why you're seeing your ID, not your actual name, which kind of blows, but it is what it is. We'll get, and it's weird too, because some people I don't know, their ID is so different from their actual username that I'm not familiar with a lot of people. But let's do some hellos before we suck down this coffee. Like, okay, Jim Wolf, I know. Mary Leathers. Jan. Let's do some. The more hellos, the better. Arthur, how you doing? Venus and Jim. I'm scrolling. I don't see all the names. Tom Lars. I want to see all the names. Kevin H. Yeah, like I'm sure I know exactly who you are, but your name is showing up as SJL8256. So shout out 8256. Liz, how you doing? Val Marie loves Vegas. See, Val Marie, who loves Vegas, does not show up as anything weird. That's interesting. Hey, Anthony, out there in Warrington. See, and then it's like, at Pal. I don't know who Pal is. I'm sure I know exactly who you are. I'm sure we bro hugged at one time or another. Or, sis hugged at one time or another. But it's showing up as Pal 1216. Ugh. Bror in chat. What a great start to the weekend. Cindy, how are you? Mike K. Matthew. Linda Anderson. Jesse. I want to get everyone in there. Come on, keep dropping them in there. I'll do my best to decipher your names, I promise. I promise. You'll probably see it across all the channels that you participate in. You digging my spoon art? If I had more milk, I could make like a bunny rabbit or something in there. Mikey loves Vegas. See, he doesn't have no numbers after his name. Chanel Fischel. I guess that's because they're unique. WA Slot Adventures, ahoy. Sylvia, how are you? Casino Slot Couple. And then we have C. C34, 652, 52. Marie Bella. I always like saying that. Kerry, how are you? Alright, I think I'm caught up. Alright, getting all the hellos in there. Now we gotta get some freaking coffee in here. Let's get some coffee. Who got a $60 a month raise? On what? I need a $60 a month raise. Because you know what? I paid freaking $7 for a gallon of milk today. $7 for a gallon of milk. Food in Vegas, everything in Vegas is getting stupid expensive. I put gas in the vehicle, and I paid $3.69 at the bodega spot, not at, some fancy schmancy Sunoco, and $7 for a gallon of milk. at the bodega too. $7 for milk. Where if I was patient, went to El Super, ordered it from Walmart, it's like $2.35, but gas is still almost $4 a gallon here. There ain't nothing cheap in Vegas no more. Alright, let's indulge in some coffee. This is too dark for me. Oh, Haley. Haley. I'm gonna ask her. I'm gonna tip her $20. She could bring me a little. She knows the deal. Alright. It's almost undrinkable. I should carry around like creamer or something. Alright. I'm gonna do something different here. I need another napkin. Into my handy dandy napkin dispenser, and I'm set. These come in handy for so many variety of things. And yes, I'll take these four, no, not this one, but I'll take 4 home. I'll admit it, my grandmother would be proud. Grams had no embarrassment about taking sugar packs and everything from fancy restaurants. Neither do I. I don't take sugar packs. But I will take these napkins, because they're so useful. They make the greatest mirror cleaner. White vinegar and these, perfect. They shine. See, what I find happening is when it's darker, I need more sweetness to offset it. It's still fabulous coffee. $60 a month increase in auto insurance? Yikes. Yeah, Newsom's gonna run for president. That should be interestingly destructive for the country, because he's done such a great job in California. I mean, come on, let's face it. He's got California dialed in. California's running like a well-oiled machine right now. There's no problems. Everything is great. Everything's cost-effective, and the occasional fire that burns up, 1 million square acres here and there because there's no water, but that's pesky. That's no big deal, Haley, I see you looking over here. Come bring me some milk. I'm gonna wait. I ain't gonna make a walk over them. I take sugar packs and little. Why not? All right, this should be sweet enough to be tolerable. I just like a little more milk. It's inkish. I cannot. As much as I love coffee, I cannot drink it black. I mean, if I have to drink black coffee, I'm just like, no. I don't know what. Oh, it puts hair on your chest. I got hair on my chest. Well, enough. I shaved some of it today. Yes, I shaved my chest there. I don't be looking like Tom Selleck is, wrestling a few freaking squirrels in the shirt, you know what I'm saying? I gotta shave once in a while. This woman over here is like, what the actual fuck is he talking about? Oh, I could say fuck. I forgot. Sometimes I forget that YouTube says I could drop F-bombs. As long as it's not no, they said I'm allowed to drop them in the first 8 seconds, too. The ban has been lifted on the F-bomb. Alright. But it's still good. It is good. Black coffee's just like, it's just brown water, I mean, it brings out like a chilled scotch. That's how I take it, chilled. If you know what chilled is, they put it in the shaker, they put some ice in it, they shake the shit out of it, and then strain the ice out. That tiny bit of water, or if they don't want to do that, I just ask for 1 cube. I haven't had a drink in probably like a year, but if I have, if they don't chill it per se, 1 ice cube. There's something about that little spark of water hitting the single malt that just opens it up. The whole bouquet, the flavor, everything comes alive. I feel the same way about coffee. You put a little milk and a little sugar, it's just like, it opens up. And then I grew up in New York and everyone drinks it light and sweet. It's just a thing, Yeah, black coffee in New York, I don't know. Maybe for people like betting at OTB or something, but the average person, light and sweet. How do you want your coffee? Light and sweet. How do you want it? Light and sweet. Like, you'd say that here, people would be like befuddled. Light and sweet. What the hell is that? Light and sweet. All right, I got more third world people's Republic of California. Yeah, true. How you doing, Joe? Our governor against the Trumpster. Yeah, Mary, these are the most handy things ever. I'll admit it. They do work in all circumstances. You paid $5.09 for gas on Thursday. I tell you, I drive. I've been doing almost all my shopping. You know, I've broken out. Like, I don't change my own oil anymore to save, you know, $5. And I don't go to Walmart because I don't have the patience. I do the delivery, but I've been a Smith's person. The variety of what I eat, you know, doesn't really cost me anymore. You know, I buy my meat when it's on sale. I buy the, you know, little bit of produce that I eat. So I'm a Smith's dude, and I racked up like enough for 50 cents off a gallon, which is like $500 worth or whatever. So, but I got to drive like 20 minutes out of my way to go get gas, but you know, my car is fairly fuel efficient. But 50 cents off a gallon, I'm gonna drive 20 minutes, you know, to save 50 cents off a gallon, get me that 20 gallons, you know? So, yeah. But it ain't cheap here. Nothing's cheap here. Orion Spice, I like that name. Kind of hot here the last, yeah, it's hot here in Vegas. It went back, it was 112 today. It's gonna be hot again tomorrow, but then it's gonna do the slip and slide. It's not even supposed to break. You know how the weatherman lies in Vegas because they don't want to scare the tourists. So they always, like right now it says it's 103. I wish it was 103. When I got out of the vehicle, it said 107. It's always like 3 to 5 degrees higher than what they tell you because they don't, you know, when it's 117, they don't want the average tourist to know it's 117. They do the same thing in the winter. When it's 45, they go in the opposite direction. They tell you it's 50. So, yeah, it's all marketing. We don't even have transparency and honesty in our weather reporting here in Vegas. However, next week they say it's supposed to be in the low to mid 90s for at least a week or so. So, almost September. It's almost Christmas. I love it. The gas where you are is $3.49. Yeah, it's about comparable. What are you guys paying in California? Is it still like $6 and $7? See, I mean, we could have $6. I'm so jealous. Why don't we have $6, $7 a gallon gas like California does? If we elect Newsom, we could have that too. Why wouldn't you want that? It makes so much sense. Oh my God, another freaking commercial. What is she doing? She's cleaning her steering wheel with some kind of spray that's getting all over her car. Oh, they gotta show the legs. All right, you take the spray, you spray it in the car while you're sitting in it. You breathe in the fumes. It cleans out your lungs. All right, it's like WD-40. All right, okay. Oh, you could use it everywhere. Nice. All right. Oh, different car. Now we're in an Audi. Love them Audis. Oh, cleans everything. Go back to the legs. Show us what it does for legs. No. Okay. Cleans your leather. Wow. Does everything. Just like men's all-in-one shower gel. You wash your ass with it. You wash your hair with it. You wash your face with it. People really use that? I've never used that. I don't mind using different products, you know? Yeah. All-in-one shower gel for men. Stop being so damn lazy. I mean, I'm sure it works. Soap is a soap is a soap is a soap, but, you know, I like squeaky clean in some places. I like a little moisturizer in others, you know? That's me. I'm crazy like that. But I'm gonna defy time. Trust me. Shout out Toxic Car Cleaner. Something caught my eye. Alright, let's see. And the only, yeah, shows a dirty car. Yeah, let's clean that. It's weird. You don't get commercials? Yeah, it does. Okay. Orion, does those ad blockers work? Because a couple of months ago they said that they would detect, YouTube would detect ad blockers and spank your account and force you to uninstall it to go back in. Did that stop? Did they just like bufangul that or what? I mean, I should probably buy a premium, you know, a couple bucks, buy the, you know, upgrade to no commercials. But I do like to see them. I like to see what my viewers are experiencing, and they're fun to talk about too, especially the bra commercials, you know. You know, they got like bras with fans in them and shit, you know, cool down your nipples, you know, why not? Lights, I've seen ones with lights and stuff, cool technology, cool edge boob technology. But I want to see what you guys are experiencing. And then I could be like, I mean, I can commiserate with you. I can't do shit about it, but I can commiserate and be like, damn, we're getting a lot of commercials tonight. So I like to see. I like to see. 265 Sylvia at Sam's Club? That's pretty damn good. I started during the freaking great pandemic. I used a couple of those alcohol wipes on the vehicle, you know, like for the steering wheel. It jacked up the steering wheel. It changed the composition of the rubber and made it like a little, like you could, when it was wet, you were not only peeling the germs and the funk off, it peeled off like some type of protective coating, so like it revealed the raw rubber. You could see where I wiped it down. Like, alcohol is not your friend when it comes to plastic and stuff, so be careful with that. It'll ruin your car. Just like I ruined one of my kitchen cabinets. I think I told you that story. I ruined one of my kitchen cabinets. My kitchen cabinets are no joke. Could you do me a ginormous favor? Can you bring me another one of those?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Go Haley. I have like white lacquer-ish looking cabinets and whatnot. So, I had this genius idea. I'll use my steamer on this shirt. So what did I do? I'm like, what am I gonna do? Hold it up? It was the first time I ever used a steamer. Someone's like, you know, I steam my clothes in the shower, especially when I travel for business. You hang your clothes in the shower, you put on the hot water or the steam, it takes all the wrinkles out from the suitcase, you hang it up in the closet, you're good to go. You know, that's my hack. But someone's like, oh, you gotta get a steamer. It's so much more efficient than ironing and all the rest of that crap, which is true to a degree. Unless you like, I like those crisp lines, but anyway. That is the pinkest thing I've ever seen in my life. That is a pink on a whole different level of pink right there. Anyway. So I hung it on one of my cabinets, and it's a cabinet right on the edge. You know, it's like a U-shaped, L-shaped kitchen, and it's the very end one. And I opened the door, I hung it on, and I freaking steamed it. And it fucked up that kitchen cabinet door so bad. It's just like, it's so noticeable. Well, to me, because I know it's there. It irritates me. And trying to match that cabinet door is next to impossible. So it mocks me. It mocks me on a daily basis. It's like, you steamed the freaking shirt on. I didn't know the steam, I mean, okay, it's steamed, duh, Bror Fredrik. But I didn't think it would penetrate straight through the fabric and have that effect, you know? But it steamed the shit. That lacquer melted it and ruined a good cabinet. So someday I am gonna have to, thank you very much. Someday now I'm gonna be happy. Someday I am gonna have to like reface my cabinets for that one stupid door is probably gonna cost me, well, that one stupid mistake is probably gonna cost me thousands of dollars because I cannot find someone to replicate the one door. So altogether I have, between drawers and cabinet doors, there's 26 I think in total, and they average like 150 a pop. I'll install them myself. That mistake cost me a lot of friggin' money. Nobody's ever said it. No one has ever been over, which very few have ever been like, you got a fucked up cabinet door, bro. No one's ever said that. Or they're being polite, but I know it's there, and it mocks me every morning. So what are we talking about? I don't know, something. Alright, now we're gonna enjoy some coffee. Now we're gonna get down with the business. The business of coffee. This woman's staring at me like she's trying to figure out what's going on over here. Yeah, I'm enjoying my coffee. Why? Alright, one more time. Let's get some more. That's why I come here. To see you guys too. But that is why I come here. Now that is perfection. Perfect sugar, perfect milk. Now Haley will remember to bring me two. Let me just bask in this moment. It was good. It was good. But I just got to do something real quick, and then we'll talk about all sorts of stuff. All sorts of stuff. Hold on. We might even do a little what's on Bror's phone. There's a lot of shit on the phone. Let me just handle something real quick. Just talk amongst yourselves. I got business to conduct. Alright, so where were we? What up, Bert? Never come between a man and his coffee. This is true. Hey, Bror Fredrik. Yeah, it is cloudy today. It rained. I got hit with like 3 or 4 pieces of rain. Like I was talking to someone around 4:30 or something like that, and 3 or 4 pieces of rain hit me, and a couple pieces hit the phone or whatever. So that's rain here, which is going to dovetail into something else I wanted to talk about. I don't know if it's happening in your neck of the woods, but oh, I see super chat activity. Stephen J, how you doing? Thank you for the 10 Bananaраmas, some fan funding for tonight's festivities. That is awesome. I do appreciate it. All super chat goes to coffee, and it goes to parking. There's no event tonight. The town is dead, like seriously dead. I parked on the 2nd floor. Okay, come find me. I parked on the 2nd floor. There was no one waiting for an elevator. There was no one in an elevator. I got the elevator in like 30 seconds. I was running 20 minutes late and still got here on time. My usual 12-minute drive, 13-minute drive took me 8 minutes. There's nobody. You're on the road, and it's like pandemic level. Like, you know, when the town was shut down. There's nobody out. Like, nobody out. Innocent Jim with the 10. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, it's dead. It's seriously dead. But they boiled the frog. You know, they boiled the frickin' frog. Do I still remember the secret handshake? Secret handshake. It's not so much a secret anymore. It's still a secret. They boiled the frog. Who the actual fuck wants to pay $15 for a bottle of water? $22 for a beer? It's outrageous. I mean, I was telling a friend of mine that, what's his name? Gordon Ramsay, in one of the spots he has, I think it's at Paris. He has like a fish and chip spot. It's a little plate, like Arthur Treach's fish and chips. Remember them? It's like this big. You know, a few fries, a couple of pieces of fish or whatever. The guy showed the receipt. He ordered 2, one for him and one for someone else. And it was $59 for 2 plates with 4 total pieces of fish and some fries. $60 frickin' $30 for a plate of but it's Gordon Ramsay, but that's all over town. $25 for a slice of pizza. Yeah, you can go and eat the hot dogs over at Casino Royale or whatever, get botulism, but holy shit, $25 for a slice of pizza. Who can survive? Who's gonna eat one? I'm gonna eat two. And a bottle of water, so it's gonna cost me $60, the same $60 to eat pizza in Las Vegas. It's outrageous. And they still haven't realized they boiled the frog yet. They boiled it. They just tossed a new frog in. They're like, these assholes won't figure it out, but assholes are figuring it out. And they're blaming it on tariffs. What, tariffs on fish and chips? I mean, let's be real. Where are these tariffs? Yeah, Mexican restaurants are closing up left and right in this town. And you're like, well, why are they closing up left and right? It was actually on the news. Why are they closing up left and right? Does that mean what? All your patrons were illegal? Is that what we're talking about? I don't know. You know that 1 out of 6 people in Clark County, Las Vegas, is an illegal. 1 out of 6. That's why Trump does not want to come here, because we're already having problems. If ICE comes here, 1 out of 6 people in Las Vegas, a town of 2.2 to 2.3 million people, 1 out of 6 is suspected to be illegal, undocumented. That would devastate this town. That would devastate shit. But then you go and look at videos in LA and, there's no traffic anymore and, all the rest of that. But we need traffic here. We need people here. I don't care where they come from, but it'll be devastating. 1 out of 6. There'll be some problems. Yeah. Anyway, more coffee. Let's say more hellos too. Missy Vegas. Yeah, the Costco pizza deal. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Cheap. Who else? I think we got to do some happy birthdays. Flights to Las Vegas from Canada doubled? Really? Doubled? That's nuts. Yeah, they're gonna be charging. Yeah, they're gonna charge for air conditioning. I mean, they're doing shit in town. Like, if you open the refrigerator and put your leftover fish and chips in the frickin' refrigerator that's in your room, they will charge you. There's a sensor inside the refrigerator. This is pretty much exclusive to MGM properties. There's sensors inside the refrigerator that can tell if you use the refrigerator. I mean, that's no longer an amenity. Oh, my room has a refrigerator. If you want a refrigerator that you're not going to get charged for, you have to call down, tell them you're a diabetic and you need to keep your medication cold. That's the only way you're going to avoid that charge. Duh, pro tip. But charging to use the in-room refrigeration, that's outrageous. And my prediction, and people say I'm nuts, I probably am, but I'm not nuts. I don't think so. I do talk to myself though. Anyway, my prediction, we'll see if it comes true. I believe that at some point they will start charging to use the elevators. It'll be a room charge. It'll no longer be a courtesy. Number one, it'll stop people from going back up to their room. If they know they're going to get hit with like a $2 charge, a $3 charge every time they use the elevator, they'll stay down on the floor and spend money. Number two, they'll be like, oh, well, that covers the cost of maintenance and this and that. It's not really part of your resort fee. They're going to charge to use the elevator. You watch. Maybe they'll give you, like 4 uses a day. 1 up, 1 down, 1 up, 1 down. After that, they're going to charge you. Watch. That sounds nuts, right? So did charging for parking. So did $15 bottles of water. But they will. Yeah, you'd think they can't do that. You probably need an ADA exemption in order to do that. Same like they'll say, okay, if you're storing your medication in the refrigerator, that's an exception that they're willing to make. They'll make concessions like that, not to break the law, but for the average person, they don't have to be ADA compliant. They'll do it. I wouldn't put anything past this town. Wouldn't if they could put gas nozzles on the plane with like what do they call that, laughing gas, and just gas everyone. So you land in Vegas, you get the experience. Oh my God, honey, we're here, and you fly in, and they flip a lever, and they gas everyone, and then they go into your pocket, and they take your credit cards and start swiping them, take all your cash. They probably do that shit too. And then wake you up a couple days later, have an IV in your arm like Inception, keep you alive. Wake you up a few days later, put a couple souvenirs in your pocket and shit, a couple of like $15 freaking receipts from slot machines, and you'd be like, you'd wake up, oh, wow, that was a hell of a vacation. They'd change your clothes. They'd have people come in with gloves on, and they'd like take you out of the clothes that you're in and put you in new clothes and shit, change your diapers and stuff. If the town could do it, it would. Trust me. This town is not ethical. I mean, it's fun, don't get me wrong, but the town definitely lacks a certain level of ethics. Oh my God, what's she selling? She's selling, what is that, Photoshop in a bottle? Yeah, all right, put more filters on. Yeah, okay, you need more filters. You need more industrial strength spackle on your face. You need more lip filler. Yeah, there you go. You need some contacts. You need them windshield wipers. Oh, it was contacts. I'm not off. 1-800. Is anyone else getting 2 commercials? This twofer bullshit has to go too. I'm not scaring you. Well, see, the thing is, it'll change. Like when this town realizes, like certain people are starting to get fired now, rehired. Like CEOs are on the chopping block, general managers are on the chopping block. Just like, I mean, you're gonna see it. Just like Target. Target, nobody's buying shit from Target anymore. They fired the CEO and they put the COO in place. So yeah, and then you got the Cracker Barrel chick who thought it was a good idea because, she didn't want her restaurant being a place just for us crackers. Like, I don't find that offensive. If someone walked up to me and called me a cracker, I'd be like, what up, bro? What do I care what someone calls me? You want to call me a cracker, white boy? I don't give a shit. It doesn't bother me. But anyway, she felt that was offensive and non-inclusive to be called like Cracker Barrel. So their stock dipped like freaking 15%. How'd I get on her? Oh, I didn't get on her. She wishes. But anyway, yeah. So when people figure out they boil the frog, they usually turn around. But when these big corporations, they're not nimble. It's like turning around a cruise ship. It takes a while to make a U-turn in a cruise ship. Same thing with this. They'll figure it out. Heads will roll, and then they'll be like, you know what? We shouldn't have the slot machines tightened down to 77%. Maybe we should offer some free parking. Now, they'll change. When they get hit in the pocketbook like any other company, but they're getting hit in the pocketbook. But right now, it's too convenient and too easy to blame it on tariffs. What the fuck does tariffs have to do with coming here to Las Vegas? Not a whole lot. Oh, but, some people say, we're absorbing the costs of them. No, you're not. When was the last time you bought something from Japan? I mean, let's be honest and real. When was the last time you bought a kimono? Come on. Oh, but avocados come from Mexico. Yeah. I just bought 3 for $1 at El Super. I don't think it was very tariffified. Whatever. I don't want to get into that conversation. Anyway. Alright. So let's see how many people I lose. That's going to be my dovetail into the next conversation, which is I could always tell when I lose subscribers. I always tell. How come I'm not? I don't know about you guys, but my chat is not chatting anymore. It's not chattifilizing. So many restaurants went away in the food court. Yeah, absolutely. Food courts, restaurants. I mean, businesses here in town, I'm seeing, it looks like 2015 all over again. There's like entire strip malls in town that are empty. They don't even have for rent signs on. They're just freaking empty. I mean, as a business, you really shouldn't be businesses do live paycheck to paycheck. You know, even businesses live like people. They shouldn't, however, it is what it is. Rocky, how are you? I'll wave back. How you doing? I'm in a mood for chocolate. That's what I'm in a mood for. I'm gonna have all the chocolate. Yeah. Alright, what else are we talking about? We got 2 minutes. Alright, so let's dovetail. You ready to dovetail? What's up with Cracker Barrel? Cracker Barrel's okay. Cracker Barrel, the only thing I like is to play with the little freaking games and the peg games and all. I like buying the candy, you know, like we had when we were kids and all that type of shit. It's very nostalgic, but she took all the nostalgia away. But they had the best pot roast ever. I loved their pot roast. So I bought it. I ate there like 3 weekends in a row so I can reverse engineer how they make that pot roast so succulently delicious. And I figured it out. My pot roast rivals Cracker Barrel. And now I have no use for them. You know, other than going in there, especially on Christmas. And I mean, that area, this little sales area, it was very nostalgic. It was very, very nostalgic. You know, or they had all the, like, the candies from they have Pop Rocks, you know, and stuff like that. It's cool. I like going in there. Yeah. Anyway, not anymore. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, I heard that Canadians are not traveling to America or Las Vegas because of Trump. I mean, that doesn't really make sense to me. I don't see how that would... Oh, because he said he wanted to be the 51st state. I mean, I could take a joke. I guess some people can't. However, you Canadians are not allowed to go in your own frickin' woods. So who's really screwed in this thing? I mean, do you like living in a place? I mean, I love Canada. I actually do. I love old Quebec. I've been there several times. I love it, you know? However, you're not allowed to go in the woods. That's where your country and your government has led you now. You're not allowed to go in the woods. That's some sick shit right there. Not allowed to go in the woods without facing jail. That's outrageous. That's outrageous. But Trump's bad? Because why? I can go in the woods. I can still go in the woods. So how is he worse of a dictator or worse of an authoritarian than the Canadian regime who won't let you go in the fucking woods? I don't get that. I mean, let's compare apples to apples here. Who's worse? I don't care what you think of Trump, but at least we can go in the frickin' woods and not face jail time for enjoying God's green earth. Makes me nuts. But it is what it is. But I do love old Quebec. I love me some old Quebec. Yeah, I don't speak French, but I love me some old Quebec. I used to go up there like twice a year when I lived in New York. Alright, now, Haley's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys trying to stare down her shirt at the bar. She's making drinks, she's doing a thing, but we need coffee. And I promise I won't stare down your shirt when you come over here. You guys might, I ain't. Alright, we need coffee. We need more coffee. Yeah, the fires in those woods are crazy, and yeah, they're all arson. Is that what's going on, Morgenstein? Is it people setting fires and shit? Well, yeah, okay, that's effed up. That's madly effed up. But it can't be everyone. Oh, I watched a bit of that show Untamed with that Eric Bannon or whatever the hell his name is. Untamed, it takes place in Yellowstone, which is probably going to explode. I got to move out of Vegas before Yellowstone goes kaboom. 'Cause that shit's eventually going to go kaboom and cause all sorts of problems. You know, be like, oh, look, lava. Live streaming from the lava. Okay. However, Eric Bannon's in there, and it's like the amount of people. Do you know, like, over 100 people a year? When you're ready?
Yeah.
Like, over 100 people a year, or 200 people a year, or some such number. Yeah, I mean, Untamed. Go watch Untamed. It's cool. And I'm on the Sneaky Pete thing. Con artists and fraudsters and freaking grifters and shit. I just watched the end where they got the money back from the Breaking Bad dude, and then they split up. I thought that was the end of it. They should have ended that shit right there. I didn't want to commit to another season, but here we are. Anyway, like a couple hundred people a year go missing in Yellowstone Park. Like, there's like 100 people, like, you know, self-delete. You know, they jump off things and whatever. Others get eaten by bears. There's like, they said there's like thousands of people, it's millions of acres. There's thousands of people living in there or whatever. But, you know, then you got the assholes who want to pet buffalo or whatever. But, yeah, I never knew all that. It's interesting. Interesting shit. But that Eric Bannon is a freaking hypocrite. He is one of the most outspoken anti-Second Amendment people you meet. Oh, nobody should have pew-pews. There's no need for it. No one should have them. No one should have them. Well, asshole, every movie that you're in, you're playing a character that relies on pew-pews. Black Hawk Down, anyone? This one, constantly strapped. But then he can go out, oh, if you pay me enough, this is what they're saying, just like frickin' De Niro, another hypocrite. You pay me enough, I'll forget all about my stand on pew-pews. One of the greatest pew-pew battles of all time on film in Heat. But he's a staunch anti-second. Eric Bannon, no, nobody's allowed to have them except me. Madonna mia. We got to be ready for our second cup. Let me swallow this real quick. Oh, we're doing good on time. So we're going to talk about pine trees. Or should we talk about why I lose subscribers? We could dovetail into pine trees. Yeah, we'll dovetail. I gotta reach into the handy dandies. Wow. Okay. So, I lost like 17 subscribers from last week for some, and I know why. I mean, oh my God, with these commercials. The ultimate congratulations gift, what the actual hell?
I'll come back and grab the other one.
Gotta entertain the dudes. Oh, no. I got a better idea. Oh, the second one is always like nuclear fission level hot. I love it. All right, we got all the ideas. Look at me earning my keep up in here. All right. Spoon. Real sugar, all the things. Okay, so what the hell was I talking about? Losing subscribers. Every time I talk about football, I lose subscribers because my audience is like 70, it varies, 75, between 75 and 80% male. So every time I talk about football in any type of negative connotation, when people go and rewatch the live stream, they're like, what an asshole. What kind of guy doesn't like football? And they like unsubscribe and shit. I know it's that. I know when I'm getting, whenever I bring up, you know, my stance on football or sports in general, guys unsubscribe in droves, like, you know, like I don't belong to the club or whatever, but I have strong opinions about everything. And I like people who have strong opinions about everything. But at the same time, I'm open-minded enough to hear their opinions, and should their opinion trump mine, or it's adjacent in some manner, or it accentuates my own opinion, I'll take that into consideration and make that my own too. I'm not gonna die on a hill of ignorance, you know? It's like a pickle factory up in here. Except, damn. That one right there, it's like all the underboob going on. Anyway, yeah, I'm not gonna die on that hill. But anyway, what the hell was I talking about? Well, see, this is the one that does it in one shot right there. Wow. There we go. So my opinion on football always rattles people. So I'm like, well, what is your opinion on football? I got better shit to do in my life. That is my opinion. It doesn't mean that if you're into football, and I don't care if people unsubscribe or not, I'm not justifying anything, but it doesn't mean like I don't like you or I'm judging whether somebody's into football or not. I can give two shits what you do with your spare time unless you work for me. You know, if you work for me or you work under me or you work adjacent to me, I actually do care what you do. But other than that, what the hell do I care what you do with your life? I don't care if you're into football. You can be the most ardent fan. You can sit on a frickin', you could have like those team and boss toilet seats. I care. I went into someone's house and one of their entire bathrooms was in Florida. It was Gator, you know, Florida Gators and whatnot. They had the Florida Gators shower curtains. They had the Florida Gator toilet seat. They had the Florida Gator mat, the Florida Gator frickin' soap pump. They had all the Florida Gator shit, you know? I even had a Florida Gator shirt, I'll admit it, but, you know, when in Rome. However, I don't get it. I mean, that's just for me. See, I'm not being judgmental, you know? Okay, I am somewhat judgmental. Do I shame people once in a while? Yes. The world needs a little bit of shame. The world lacks shame. I don't give a shit what anyone says. The world lacks shame. Walking around with their freaking emotional and metaphysical pants around their ankles is not doing any good. It's not doing anything good for this country. Anyway, yeah, what's judgmental? You point your finger at someone, you're pointing three back at yourself. That's the old proverb, and God ain't down with being judgmental. But sometimes, you know, a little judgmentalism sets things right. You gotta take a stand. It's not being judgmental. But anyway, that's nothing to do with football. I mean, I get off on different things. Like closing a deal. Closing a deal, let's say. Getting a contract inked, closing a deal, negotiating a deal that's beneficial, mutually beneficial to both parties. I get off on that. You know, I love the business of business. I always have, I always will, since I was a child. I even tried a lemonade stand once, but it was however, that to me is, there's not enough touchdowns in the world. There's not enough field goals in the world. There's not enough Super Bowls in the world to trump, in my mind, a successful business meeting. Yeah, it's entertaining. Exactly. I find that entertaining. But that's just me. I am entertained by the art of business, the art of negotiation, the art of problem solving. I find great entertainment in that, you know? I mean, I could work 16-hour days the way most people work 8, because I find every aspect of it, nothing's drudgery. It's just like, wow, what an accomplishment, what a satisfaction, what personal reward I'm getting out of this. Rather than watching other people do shit, I like to be the one to do shit. And it provides me endless entertainment. And sometimes the ups provide entertainment, sometimes the downsides of business provide entertainment. Flushing out a situation, flushing out a deal, flushing out an individual, I find that personally rewarding and satisfying. I mean, entertaining, like, do I laugh and jump up and down? Fuck yeah. You know, sometimes when you sign a contract, like most people jump up and down in the bar, you know, when their favorite team scores a touchdown, I jump up and down when something goes right in business. I'm just like, yes. You know, I wait till the team's meeting over. Yeah, bye, everyone, see you on the weekend. I'm like, yes. But that's me. I'm not projecting that onto you guys, but people take that shit personally. I don't care what you do with your time. It's your life. I'm just talking about what makes me tick, you know? I find great satisfaction. All right, I solved this problem. You know, that's me. That's me. That's my entertainment. And I turn my whole life into entertainment. I can't remember the last time I didn't try to swish something into my kitchen garbage pail. I'm just like, swish. I mean, I turn life into a game, you know? You know, let me see if I can backhand this. Let me see if I can pick this up with my toes. I do shit. I do shit to entertain myself. I don't need others to do it for me. Sometimes you want to be entertained and whatnot, but that is just me. That's not me saying, you suck if you don't do what I do. I mean, I might project that in my overwhelming, perhaps overbearing opinionation on things. That don't mean shit, you know? That's on the individual. I'm not like, you know, I'm thinking less of people. I mean, some people, God bless you, if you could work, you know, a 7-hour day, get an hour off for lunch, paid or not, slide down the dinosaur, and still live a happy, productive life with no regrets. Good for you, regardless of how much you make. If that's what you want, that's what you want. But to me, my mind, I'm about the numbers, I'm about the ROI, I'm about the business, and I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Am I rich from it? No. But I have a rich life because I'm fulfilled. I have a great sense of accomplishment every single day, whether it's good, bad, up, down. I feel satisfied at the end of my day. And I look in the mirror and I go, hey, Bror Fredrik, did you do your best today? Yeah, I did. And sometimes the answer is no. No, I didn't. I freaking slacked off. You know, I got up my ass about something and I forgot to do X, Y, Z. And sometimes your best is this much. Sometimes your best is this much. You know, best is relative. You know, but at the end of the day, I'm like, good day. And then I reward myself with like an episode of Star Trek or Sneaky Pete or some shit. I love the business. That's my sport. My sport is business. You know? I've never heard anyone else say that, but that's not a reflection of me saying, like, if that's not you, you suck. That's, you know, that's just the way my... What's up with not drinking this coffee? Holy shit. That's not a reflection on anyone. I'll give you another example. Thank you. Near perfection. We're near perfection. Why is my cell company calling me? Oh, I know why they're calling me. I gave them some shit yesterday. They had me on hold. In total, 4 hours and 37 minutes it took me to get through to my cellular provider yesterday. I did all sorts of other things. The phone just sat on the desk. 4 hours and 37 minutes on hold, being transferred. When I first called them, they greeted me by name because they recognize the phone number. They're smart like that. And then they said, your expected wait time is 1 hour and 35 minutes. I'm just like, you're shitting me, right? You're shitting me, right? This is not April 1st, but you gotta be shitting me. No, they weren't shitting me. So they'd pick up and I'd be like, and they're like, oh, sorry, you're in customer care. You need tech support. We'll transfer you. Your anticipated wait time is 54 minutes. And then twice, the phone went dead. Like, You can't say that on YT. I'm screaming, I'm yelling. I'm like, you suck. And then like the first one that picked up, I'm like, manager, supervisor. Well, tell me, supervisor. I got 4 hours and 37 minutes. But they solved the problem and they're calling me back to make sure. Holy freaking commercials. They're calling me back. Anyway, what else I don't want to talk about? Everything. I want to talk about everything. But we need more caffeine. We need more caffeine. This coffee was a hair, an RCH away from perfection. Now it's going to be perfect. Perfect. That's good. That's good. What is she doing to her face? What has she got all over her face? She's got like this white stuff all over her face. Organic something for mature women. Okay. Oh, I should show you some mature woman AI stuff. Yeah, 4 hours and 37 minutes. And it was still outsourced. I still ended up in, offshore with someone calling me dear. Couldn't pronounce my name. Mind if I just call you sir? I'm like, yeah, I like that. Call me sir. And I always try to, I have better luck talking with females. I drop my voice like another octave. I'd start talking like this, because I can. I'm like, yeah, I need some help. You willing to help me? And like you could just see the ship right there. It doesn't work on dudes, but it does work on women. Yeah, we need more espresso. All right, so the other thing I'm going to talk about. I was talking to a friend of mine this morning. I'm like, all the pine trees. Why am I hunching forward? Let me be erect. All the pine trees in Vegas are dying. Are the pine trees by you dying? All over Vegas, they are dying. We have some huge, giant pine trees that have been around here since they started developing. Like in the 50s, they planted them. They found out that they could survive the harsh conditions with enough water. They are dying everywhere. They're going to start crushing cars and houses all over town. I mean, they're big. I love pine trees. I love pine trees. We're dovetailing somewhere else. Love me some pine trees, but they're all dying. They are all freaking dying here in Vegas. Brown, like you'll see half the tree brown. You'll see whole, main branches brown. There's some by me. They're brown. They're like they drop pine. They're all dying. And people say it's because there's a bark beetle. I did a little research. There's some type of bark beetle taking place here. And they said because when the city put that, remember when we used to walk around up and down and they did the thing where like they made the Excalibur drain their water feature. They drained all the water features except even Aria stopped. Remember the waterfall outside over the little brick wall? They stopped that shit because of water concerns. Oh, Lake Mead is going to be empty soon. Yeah, right. Stop diverting the water and splashing it into the Pacific. Maybe it wouldn't be dry. Oh, Newsom. However, ever since they did that, they say it takes about 2 years for a pine tree to realize it's being starved of water. And they're being starved of water, and HOAs were mandated to cut back, the watering, all the golf courses, and it hasn't really rained. You know what? We're in monsoon season, and I got hit with like 4 pieces of rain today. That's it. They're expecting rain next week, so it'll rain for like 30 seconds. Ooh, the great monsoon in Vegas. It doesn't rain anymore. It hasn't rained in a couple of years, and all these pine trees are hurting, which made them vulnerable to these freaking bark beetles. So shit's dying all over town. It's sad, because I love me some pine trees. I love woods and pine trees. You know what I hate? I'm gonna lose some more people. Not hate. You know what I find ugly? What do you think I find ugly? I'm gonna read comments in a second. What do you think I find ugly? Palm trees. Yet another unpopular opinion. I don't like palm trees. I think they're ugly. I look at a palm tree and I'm just like, you know why? The minute I see palm trees, I'm like, palm trees belong in a hellscape. Because I associate palm trees with being hot and uncomfortable. They're tropical. I am not tropics. Pine trees I associate with cool and snow and Santa Claus and campfires and roasted marshmallows. I associate palm trees with hellscapes. Sweating, hot, uncomfortable. Ugh. But that's me. If you love palm trees, I'm gonna read comments, and you're the man. If you love palm trees, good on you. Good on you. That is my personal choice. I do not dig, I just look at them and it just makes me hot. I look at a palm tree and I'm just like, and they remind me of summer. They remind me of heat. They remind me of humidity. They remind me of sweat. They remind me of uncomfortability. They remind, all that shit just comes like back to me when I see palm trees. You know, but people love them. I mean, people pay like $40,000 for a freaking big mature palm tree and they stick it in their front yard for 40 grand. You say that all the time and I'm just, oh, it's so elegant. I mean, I've been to Mar-a-Lago a few times. You drive through they have beautiful palm trees. Now there it fits because it's by the water and it's elegant and they got them lined up like toy soldiers as you drive through the property and everything. That's beautiful. They have it here, like in Southern Highlands. They have, like when they're lining the streets, not so much. But when they cut down a pine tree and they put a fucking palm tree up, I'm just like, I'm gonna speak to the manager. You know what I'm saying? I want to speak to the manager when I see that shit. And that's gonna be happening all over town. All over town. But Bror Fredrik, it's gotta be deeper than that. What time is it? Oh, we're doing good on time. I need more coffee, hang on. Yeah, does a palm tree even give shade? Because they freaking scalped the thing like a freaking telephone pole and it's got a little on the top. And it looks weird if you try to put Christmas decorations on. It looks like, you know, something. We've all seen the meme, right? Do I have to explain it? We've all seen that meme. What a palm tree looks like when you put decorations on it, well, lights. It looks like. Anyway, no. Okay, so palm trees. Do they give shade? It's so high up there for the most part. Well, what are they shading? Can you hug a palm tree? You hug a palm tree, it's gonna fuck your shit up. You know, it's like you might as well just hug a porcupine or some razor blades. You might as well hug a bag of razor blades, double-edged razor blades. Yeah, can you climb a palm tree without like cutting your feet off? What do palm trees do? Did they give you pinoles so you can make some cookies? No. I don't know. What do they have? Coconuts? Whatever. It's like you burn more calories trying to get a freaking coconut to give you something than whatever. Why else don't I like palm trees? But I don't care if you love them. If your entire home's motif, when I go into your bathroom, is a soap dispenser that's a palm tree, if you have soap dishes, if your toilet seat cover is palm trees, if your tissue paper holder has palm trees, if your shower curtain has palm trees, if your wallpaper has palm trees, good. I don't care. I mean, it makes me hot. It makes me a little hot and uncomfortable, but I'm not going to be like, asshole. You know, I'm not going to be like that. I'm just going to be like, all right, cool, whatever, you know. Be like this, you know, when I get up. But anyway, but here's the other thing. Yeah, they grow coconuts, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. All that work for like 2 ounces of coconut milk, and then you're chewing on the coconut. I'd rather eat a Mounds bar, even though it's full of poison, than eating raw coconut. It's gonna get my teeth. But that's me. See, I have a taint against that. Okay, I had a property in Florida. I had a house in Florida. It was like to me, coming from New York, it was like the frickin' Ponderosa. It was like 1 2/3 of an acre, right? Like the 2/3 of an acre was manicured and beautiful, and then the 1 acre, which was behind and on the outskirts a little bit, was nature. Florida nature is different than what I was used to. Florida nature is different. Like palm trees randomly freaking sprout. Like one day you'll wake up and there'll be a freaking palm tree in the middle of your lawn in the front. You'll be like, where the actual F did this palm tree come from? They just randomly sprout up. They're just like, I mean, not the big giant ones, but with the palm leaves and all this other shit. And you're just like, you little asshole, where'd you come from? You know, and then you're just like digging it up and you find a root and it's like pulling a thread on a freaking old t-shirt. And it's like, oh, it came from that palm tree like a mile that way. What the actual F? So they grow like weeds in Florida. Palm trees grow like freaking weeds. I mean, and you can't kill them off for the most part. It's like, holy cow. And then you got these things called kudzus. Do you guys ever know kudzus? When you're from the city, you just can't understand what a tree brings. That's why I love trees. I love trees, but I don't consider a palm tree a tree. It's a weed. Because I've seen them sprout like freaking weeds. They're weeds. But so they grow and they have these different names, but then the kudzus, the freaking kudzus, holy shit, those things are mutant. They're mutant. I don't believe in aliens, but I think they came from space. Kudzus. They come from these little balls that, you know, they're like baseballs, right? They fall in the ground. If you don't get that root, you're screwed. Like you can cut them all freaking day long. Another commercial, Maron. What's she talking about here? Wow, the filters that these women put on these days. That's not real. Well, what are you trying to sell me? Fast loan program. Cash advances. Alright, kudzus. Do you guys know what kudzus are? Them shits grow. You could, if you listen close, if it's quiet, if you listen close, you could hear them grow. I mean, you can cut all the kudzus you want. Go out there with the machete and you wake up the next morning and they not only grew back, they grew back like double. They're just like, we see what you did to our brethren. Oh my God. Them kudzus, they're like elephant ear looking things. If you cut them, you could almost hear them scream like that song from Tool. You know how the carrots scream when you harvest them? Oh my God, a freaking kudzu. There's people who eat them. Oh, you know what else I hated about Florida? But if you love it, fine. Spanish moss. I had beautiful old oaks, like beautiful old oaks, you know, where the trunk was, I had one that was maybe almost 10 feet, 10 freaking feet, this way, not circumference, diameter, 10 feet. I know this because I know how much Christmas lights it took to wrap those shits up. Anyway, that thing was big, old, beautiful, except for I hated magnolias. Like yeah, the live oaks. Have the live oaks. But damn, that Spanish moss made it look dirty. To me, it made the tree look dirty. And that shit grows back just as fast. I used to rip that crap down as fast as it grew. The only thing that was cool about the live oak, it grew mistletoe. Where the hell did mistletoe come from? What does that have to do with the live oak? However, mistletoe grows in the live oak. Never knew that. I didn't even know what it was. I was finding this stuff all over the place, and one of my neighbors was like, don't throw that out, that's mistletoe. Got Mistletoe? Like Santa Claus kissing under the freaking thing, mistletoe? Yeah, mistletoe. Alright. But that Spanish moss shit, that has to go. When I lived in Florida, people had like orange trees and stuff, and you'd see the gardeners throwing out grapefruits and oranges like they were just like, oh, like it was a pest. Because, you know, people had them or whatever, but I wish I could have grown them. I tried growing an avocado. I did grow, the only fruit tree I was able to grow in Florida was a Myers lemon tree. And when I left Florida, they were producing Myers lemons. Myers lemons are freaking, I don't like lemon. I don't like lemon, and I barely like lemonade. You know, lemon pot. I like savory, but I don't like sour, except for vinegar. That's weird, right? But tart, a little bit tart, but lemons, they don't do shit for me. But a Myers lemon, it's like a cross almost between like an orange and a lemon. It has like this sweetness to it that offsets it. Myers lemons are on point. And it grew. I grew it from a seed. More coffee. But yeah, so the fact that I don't like palm trees, I'll probably lose 10 subscribers for that. What kind of asshole thinks that palm trees are weed? Bror Fredrik. I mean, he was cool up until he told me he didn't like palm trees. I love palm trees. But you know what? I don't care. However, we're all entitled to opinions. I just happen to have a strong one. You know, I like people with strong opinions. Strong opinions are good. People with no opinions or weak opinions, we can't be friends. Quite frankly, I'd rather you have a strong opinion against what I'm saying than no opinion about what I'm saying. To be perfectly honest, I respect the strong opinion. As long as it's not based on like, well, I learned this from a meme on Facebook and it agrees with me, so that's my opinion. At least listen. Please have a strong opinion, but always be willing to listen. Now it's time to read comments. I'm gonna read me some comments. Let me catch up with everyone. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm reading a message from my cellular provider. That's funny. I'm calling back as promised. Soon I gotta respond. That's cool. I mean, I only waited 4 hours. Yeah, so no palm trees, no football, but that's me. I don't care what other people do at that time. You know? I mean, I'll go to the Super Bowl. You invite me to the Super Bowl party, I'll be just like, cool. But if you invite me over to watch football, which sometimes my neighbors do, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll be there soon. You know, now they stopped asking. You know, oh, we're gonna drink beer and watch the game. I'm just like, I'm gonna work on a spreadsheet. I'm gonna work on this Word doc, you know. I'm gonna work on some, you know, some stuff. You know, that I find entertaining. Or if I go over, I'm just like, you know, I'm figuring out the economics. You know, I start talking about shit like, I wonder what their gate sales are. You know? I think like that. You know, and they're just like, touchdown, and I'm just like, I'm figuring out like ARR. You know, I'm like figuring out price structures and why tiered pricing sucks, and that's just me. And I find entertainment in that, but I'm not knocking anyone. You know, does that make me any less fun? No, I know how to have fun, obviously, but what are we talking about here? I want to read comments, and my comments are not moving for some reason, probably because I didn't like my own video. Which reminds me, I'm going to invite you to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell. Yeah, hit it. Why do I go this way? It should be this way, right? So, hit that bell button if you want to get notified when I go live again, which is at least one time a week at the bare minimum, as time permits, and life being what it is, and do the stuff. I got the links, and I appreciate Super Chat, I appreciate Cash App, Venmo, and all that stuff to cover the cost of me coming out and doing this. I'm not making a living off this, trust me. It just covers my cost, and I'm a happy camper, you know what I'm saying? Love you guys. And you guys always do. Anywho, oh, I think my chat just started moving again. Cool beans, palm trees, and footballs. Orion Spice, you hit it a long time ago. Did your Venmo activities come through? Actually not. Venmo is slow on the, Venmo is slow to notify. Sometimes they don't tell me for like 2 or 3 days. I don't think I'm ignoring everyone, but Cash App is almost instantly. It's like bang, you have someone Cash App you. Venmo sometimes, the longest I've seen is like 5 days, and I'm like guilty after that. Like, ooh shit, these people are gonna think I'm like ungrateful or whatever. But yeah, notifications from them. Ms. Google, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Thank you very, very kindly for the 50. I do appreciate that. Let's see. Leonard's here. I haven't really spoken to anyone. I've been on like a little ranty McRanter set. But not really. Kind of, but not really. We gotta sing happy birthday. You ready for happy birthdays? Alright. Let me get close to the mic. I don't want to drown it out. We're gonna sing happy birthday to Jan. Jan's turning 21, so she's gonna be legal to drink soon, but you know, be careful. You ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Jan. Happy birthday to you. And many more. Anyone else out there with a birthday? We haven't busted with a happy birthday in a while. All right. Yeah, let's throw up those hearts. Do you see those on the screen? Like, I can't see them on that screen. Like, I'm popping the hearts and I'm popping these cornucopia looking things. So everyone wish Jan a happy birthday. Next month we'll be there. All right. You are very welcome. You are very welcome. I gotta read comments. All right. I bet it's 718 there. It probably is. Although I do remember those things from my travels. All right. I agree, bro, but if you travel to other places, those things that piss you off. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think about that too. Like, you know, Mark 1 wants me to go to Thailand one day and experience the whole Thai adventure. But I'll be looking at those palm trees going, it starts feeling like a scene from Cool Hand Luke, where everyone's all sweaty and shit. I'll just be like, I don't have the genes to survive humidity, and like they tend to thrive in hot. So it's when I see a palm tree, I'm like, oh shit, this place gets hot. That's how my brain works. Doesn't mean they're bad, but I know a man has to know his limitations, said Clint Eastwood. A man has also got to know what his buttons are. Because if you know what your own buttons are, I'm not going to call them, now they call them triggers. If you know what your own buttons are, if you're a self-aware person, all right, now we're going to get philosophical. If you know what your buttons are, and you're self-aware of said buttons, nobody else can push them. It's when you're unaware of your buttons and now what they call triggers, that's when other people can trigger you. That's when other people can push your buttons. When you have no self-awareness of your own, I wouldn't say weaknesses and faults, but you know what I'm saying, the things that set you off. Like, I'd rather People spend all this time and they go to fucking therapy to get better at something they suck at. That is the biggest waste of time ever. I'd rather invest my time perfecting what comes naturally good to me and avoid the shit I suck at. Why would I want to suck less at something? If you suck at it, and don't mess with it. Unless it's like, if you suck in bed, if you suck in business, yeah, do something about that. That's a major hindrance, both things. But if you suck at something, don't do it. If you suck at golf, don't play it. If you suck at this, don't do it. If you have a propensity towards not being good at something, don't invest time trying to get better. Invest time in the things you're already good at and master them and get even better. That's a better use of your time. Oh, Mr. Therapy, no, just avoid that shit. Just avoid things that you suck at. Avoid things that you're not good at. Avoid things that bother you. Avoid people that bother you. Avoid situations that bother you. Avoid palm trees if they bother you. Simple. That life is simple. People just overcomplicate the shit out of it. But avoid things. That's the way you do. So if you suck at golf, don't try to get better at it. If you suck at golf and it's not mandatory and your boss isn't telling you must play golf with them every weekend, don't take lessons. Who gives a shit whether you suck at golf? Be the best frickin', auto body restorer known to man. That's a better investment of your time. We're not here all that long to worry about getting better at things you suck at. I never got that. But going back to what my original statement was, if you're self-aware and you know your own buttons, other people can't press them because you already know. You're already like, if someone comes up to you and says, blah, 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 you're like, yeah, I know, so. It doesn't bother you. It's when you're not self-aware or you're defensive, and someone comes along and presses your buttons, you get all freaking defensive and shit, But when you're self-aware, you're just like, no shit, Sherlock. And now I'm going to avoid you too. Life is simple. Life is freaking simple. Stop overcomplicating it. I overthink the shit out of everything, and it simplifies my life. It's funny. It's funny if you think about it. I overthink in order to simplify it. See, I think about all shit like that. If I know my buttons, you can't press them. Just like, okay, I don't like Eminem. I used to like some of his music, but remember in that rap battle at the very end, they did that rap battle thing, and the other dudes like talking about his moms and talking about how they grew up in a trailer, and they talk about this and they talk about that, and he was just like, and and you're telling me some shit I don't know, and he just rapped on about this dude's talking about shit that don't even matter. Why is that going to bother me? That's facts. I grew up with it. I'm self-aware. Why is that even remotely going to bother me? If you're aware of your own buttons, people cannot press them. They'll try, but they'll be like a button that ain't working. It'll be like. But if you're not self-aware and someone pressing on your buttons, they'll weaponize that shit. So, be self-aware. Know your own buttons. Know your own buttons. Don't put yourself in situations or around people that press your buttons. Life is simple. Stop overcomplicating it. Stop freaking overcomplicating it. Alright. Play to your strengths. 100% Jam. When people press my buttons, I become quiet. Yeah, I mean, I know when people are like trying to weaponize or whatever. Oh, we know this will bother them or whatever, and I'm just like, stop using TikTok. I agree with that. Wait a minute, I have weakness. That's funny, Chris. Hey, I don't have weaknesses and faults. It goes back. Go look up the old Honeymooners, where it's on YouTube, that whole clip. There's 2 clips of the Bob Newhart show where it's $5, I'll fix any problem. Definitely Google that. That's funny as hell and truthful. And then when Ralph is trying to be the best version of himself, and Norton he said, okay, here I'm gonna write on a list and I'm gonna tell you all the things, you know, that you suck at. And then on this side I'm gonna put all the things that are good. And Ralph is like, all right, Ed, you're my friend, do it up. And Ed Norton's like making this list of the bad shit that's like 10 pages long. And then it's like, okay, and Ralph is like, holy shit. okay, now put down the good shit, right? And then Norton's like, you know, he does the thing with the pen and all this here. And Ralph is like, what the fuck? You spent 10 minutes writing down all my faults, and you took 2 seconds to write down the good you see in me? What the hell? So he goes, and then he turns him the paper, right? He turns him the paper, and in the good, it said, the world's best friend. So what does all that fault shit matter? His best friend said he was the world's best friend. End of story. So what did he do? So the rest of the episode is he worked on being the best friend he possibly could. He took this other shit and threw it in the dumpster. No, the shit I suck at, who cares? I'm gonna focus on being. I learned that from freaking the Honeymooners. Yeah, it does. I'm with you. It gets. You can tell. I get a little. I learned that from the Honeymooners. The Honeymooners. Yeah, watching them reruns of the Honeymooners. And then, you know, they were best friends. Remember that one they was on the train and the handcuffs or whatever? I don't remember. I was a child, but it was in the reruns. I didn't grow up watching it. And he goes, hey, Ralphie, you mind if I smoke? And Ralph was pissed and he's like, oh, I don't care if you burn. I thought that shit was funny. But that was weird. You preferred zippers? I prefer zippers too. Pressing my buttons, shifting my gears, and I'll respond. Yeah, see, I'm kind of like a mirror. In the grand scheme of things, I'm like a mirror. I'm adaptive. I'm like a mirror. Whatever you reflect into me generally gets reflected back. You know, if you're an asshole to me, I won't go out of my way to be an asshole to you, but it'll reflect back in some form or fashion. If you're loving, caring, kind, and whatever, it'll get reflected back too. And it usually, in my mirror of life, it's almost a multiplying factor too. You know, if you're nice to me, I'm going to be extra nice to you. You know, if you're bad to me, I won't go out of my way, but I won't forget either. I'll forgive, but I don't forget. God forgives and forgets. I don't. I might forgive, but I'll probably never forget. I might forget. I probably won't forgive, because I ain't God. You know, I'm a human. But, like, okay, we'll do another movie reference. Wyatt Earp. Wyatt Tombstone. There's in the field with the stream, and it says, hey, where's Wyatt? I don't know, he's over there walking on some water. Why am I missing the name? I must be that caffeined up. Someone tell me. Don't let me embarrass myself. Who is what's his name's character? Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday. Okay. Doc Holliday is like, you know, why are you doing this? You know, they was asking him, why are you doing this for Wyatt? Why are you putting yourself on the line? Why are you willing to do these, you know, pew-pew fights? Well, what are you doing this for Wyatt for? And Doc Holliday says, because he's my friend. And the other dude's like, I got plenty of friends. And Doc Holliday says, I don't. get that, right? Okay. I don't know. Baby, you're the greatest. Yeah, baby, you're the greatest is awesome. Yep. Quality over quantity. I have a lot of associates. I have a lot of acquaintances. I've always kept my circle tight. You know, I used to roll like 10 deep all the time or whatever. But yeah, I keep my circle tight. You know, because I'm genuine. I'm a good friend. You know, it takes a lot of effort to be a good friend, and I'll apply that in the right circumstances. But again, we'll get into one more philosophical thing, which would be the pyramid principle. You ready for that? Pyramid, lots of bricks on the bottom, right? And then as you climb the pyramid, there's less and less and less and less and less and less bricks holding said pyramid together. It's lonely at the top. Okay, so you start out life to a degree on the bottom, not financially, physically, but just you're born into it. So you have lots of friends, right? And you roll 10 deep or whatever. But as you seek to elevate yourself in life, there's less and less bricks, less and less people who are... You could judge someone by who they associate with. You're the sum of the 5 people you hang out with. I mean, that's almost like a given. You want to know who someone else? Look who their friends are. It'll tell you all about it. You want to know who a woman is? Look who her friends are. You want to know who a guy is? Look at your friends. Look who their friends are. You know? You attract your own kind. So the higher you try to elevate, not in social circles, but in enlightenment and in success and all the things that make life worth living, there's fewer and fewer people that you can associate with. And as you leave one level of the pyramid, picture the pyramids in Egypt, the old people are like clawing at your heels, trying to bring you back down. Oh, and then if you escape, you know, like when the zombies are grabbing you and Walking Dead type of shit, when you escape and you get to the next level in life, they'll be just like, fuck him. He thinks he's too good for us. And then they start wishing you back. The same people that used to love you and kiss you and tell you how great you are and bro this and bro that will suddenly be like, you know, eat a bag. Because now you're too good for them. Who did she think or she think she is? But the more you progress in life, and I'm not just talking about financial, the more you progress in life, the fewer people you'll find commonality with, you know? The fewer people. And then there's certain people, like I used to hang with very wealthy people at one point, and I know some very wealthy people, but unless they're grounded, it's difficult to hang out with wealthy people. Why, Bror Fredrik? I used to hang out with frickin' George Maloof, and he'd be like, dude, we're all flying out to frickin' Caicos this weekend, and whatever. You coming or what? And I'd be like, damn, I'd have to put that shit on a credit card. You know? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? You know? I used to hang out with him, you know? And then it became too expensive to hang out with him. You know, so he was on like a different plane, but I know other people who are very, very well-to-do, but they're more based, you know? They're not defining their entire existence around that, and I can hang with them. You know, I can keep up financially, but it's not just about that. It's about your goals in life. Like, what's important to you? You know? What's important to you? Sliding down the dinosaur on a Friday saying fuck it to the boss until Monday morning? If that's your goal, fine. You know? Is business your goal? Is enlightenment your goal? Is wisdom your goal? Is love? Is being remembered your goal? Is leaving behind a legacy your goal? Is spreading wisdom, spreading the knowledge that you've gained in your life a goal? It should be. What do you want to be remembered for? You know? What do you want to be remembered for? That's what's important. But those are the plateaus I'm talking about. It's not purely financial. Finances will come. Financial security and wealth will come as you grow and mature in life and you're not a dick, they'll come find you, you know. But yeah, it's a pyramid. You digging it? You hear what I'm saying? You digging what I'm talking about over here? Yeah, okay. My dad's philosophy was choose your friends wisely, otherwise they'll take you down with them. Yeah. I mean, you know, I used to be like, oh, you know, friend is just someone who hasn't screwed you over yet. You know, I got jaded for a while there because, you know, I wasn't choosing my people correctly. You know, you do. And sometimes even the people you choose will surprise you because, you know, very few people really know you except you. Like, if you put hidden cameras, if we were all alone and left to our own devices and there was hidden cameras everywhere, people would be like, you know, even people close to you, you're only you when you're alone. You know, you have to make that choice that you're going to be the same authentic person, but we all have our shit when we're alone. We are not the same person that we project. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so people will surprise you sometimes. You'll get caught off guard. You won't know, you know, what skeletons people are hiding or whatever. But, you know, you love them while you can and cut them loose when you can. But if you're stuck in the middle, ain't no way you're gonna stop. True, absolutely be close to those who lift you up. Yeah, I mean, I cheer on success. When I hear about someone else's success, and people can attest to that who know me, I'm just like, that's freaking awesome. They say, oh, you're never supposed to talk about your plans because the universe, oh, fuck the universe. You know? I mean, I revel in people's success, financial, physical, I revel in it. I'm just like, that's freaking awesome. I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you. I will never deny someone's success on any level, be it relationship, financial, whatever. Tell me all the good. I will encourage you to, because that level of success elevates everyone. That's me. And other people are like, look at him. He thinks he's No. Someone asked me, how you doing? I'm like, shit, if I was any better, there'd be two of me. And then there's other people like, same shit, different day. What kind of life is that? Same shit, different day? That's your tagline? Same shit, different day? You need to do a checkup from the neck up if you be thinking like that. Anyway, alright people, I think I'm about to go jetting. I gotta go see a man about a horse. Yeah, I love seeing people happy too, Linda. I mean, that's good. I don't revel in people's misery. I mean, sometimes I know that. I know that for certain people out there, being miserable, being unhappy, being sad, being broke, among other things, is their comfort zone. And there ain't a dang thing you're gonna do about it to change it. There's nothing you can do to fix someone whose comfort zone is misery. And misery does like company. Cliche expressions aren't always true, but that one is true. Yeah, I've had a lot. I'm amped up. But I'm dropping all the truth, ain't I? Yeah. You can't fix people like that. If it's their comfort zone, if it's circumstantial and they're having problems, yeah, you can help an individual like that. But someone whose comfort zone is being miserable and they just turn into one of those haters, stay the actual F away from them. You don't need no haters in your life, you know? Well, it's some stealth haters. We have stealth haters in our life too. Be careful with them. They're even more dangerous. Anyway, I gotta go see me a man about a horse. I had fun. I hope you had fun too. Let me check, make sure I didn't miss any super chat activities. I wouldn't like that. Let me say thank you to Maria and Stephen J, Venus and Jim, and Ms. Google. I do appreciate that, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. So one last time, I'm going to invite everyone. Hey, you already did the subscribing thing. I love you guys. You guys are like family at this point. All right, people. Hope you have a wonderful weekend, and love yous. And on that note, Bror Fredrik.